Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Well, it can happen. Rents for houses in Melbourne have fallen in 2025, so over a 12-month period. And this is despite being in a high inflation environment. And if you look at my related video on this particular YouTube video, you'll see my video on Australia's inflation yesterday. And according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, overall inflation 3.8% and housing inflation to December was 5.5%. And it's now jumped to 6.8% in January. So, despite being in a high inflation environment, Melbourne rents have managed to fall. And this is in contradiction to what I hear from landlords when I speak to real estate investors looking at domain.com.au, real estate website. And then we can see the decline there in Melbourne. So, this is where the data is coming from. And normally landlords tell me, well, if the government adds more taxes or if my costs go up, I'll just pass it on to my tenants. Well, we're in such a cost of living crisis and a real estate hyperbubble that tenants, well, in Melbourne at least, are just probably tapped out. And of course, the Victorian state government has added new land taxes, new taxes to real estate investors, reducing the tax-free threshold to $50,000 from $300,000. Some other adjustments. That's a topic for another video, but I'm sure if you've been following the news even loosely, you've seen that Victoria is taxing landlords, real estate investors more. And landlords normally say, oh, well, I'll just pass that on in rent. Well, it's not happening anymore. And anywhere but Victoria for property investors, over the past year, more than 10,000 rental properties have disappeared from the state's active rental bonds. So investors are selling. They can't make any money on this hyper bubble Australian real estate that has negative cash flow. And if I've had the AI help me summarize some of the research I did prior to this video. Melbourne is now officially the cheapest capital city. What did happen was that rents for units rose by 5.5%. So that would indicate that people probably can't afford to rent a house anymore. So they're downsizing to units, to cheaper places, to smaller places, or they're moving back in with friends and family. Normally, landlords can pass these costs on, but it's not happening this time. Tenants are tapped out, and investors are having to sell. And one of the reasons they're tapped out is what I showed in my other inflation-focused video. Percentage of income spent on rents in Australia. This data is a little bit old, but it's at 30. It's probably worse now, but it's at 33%, and that's across the entire country. So at some point, the rents get so high. It doesn't matter if your costs are going up as a landlord. Rents are so expensive that a lot of people just can't afford it anymore. And we might finally be starting to see a top. Maybe Melbourne is the first city to crack. So keep in mind, despite the shortage and all the things we talk about in the real estate market, rents can fall.